Welcome to Twinings Tea Tasters. I'm Alex Sandover, your bona fide tea geek, and I'm here today to introduce a very special tea. It's a Pu-erh tea from the Yunnan province of China. It contains the most amazing lotus leaf, which has got sort of savoury and hay type tastes. It's aged for years and years and years. It's a bit like a really fine wine. So Yunnan is the birthplace of tea. So they have the oldest tea growing trees in the world. And historically, these little tea torches were used as currency through Tibet, Mongolia and Southeast Asia. And actually it was sort of almost like a second silk route called the Asian tea route. So the processing of this tea is quite unique. First of all, what happens is that there is some pan frying of the tea. It's not completely heated up so that we don't completely deactivate all those wonderful enzymes in the tea. The tea's then rolled and then it's dried in the sun. The tea then is cut or loosely chopped up and then formed into these wonderful shapes. This one is shaped like a bird's nest and it's going to have a taste which is almost like dried dates. So one of the most peculiar things that you might want to do with a Pu-erh tea is actually to rinse it. Now it's not a common practice and it tends to be a practice that happens with larger teas and teas that are really well aged. But the reason we do it is that we want to make sure that the tea decompresses in a really, really lovely way. Right, so I've literally just put in a tiny bit of boiled water. What we're looking for here is for the water to be a good 100 degrees. We'll just let it rinse for a minute or two and then we'll discard the water. So as my mother would always tell me, I always should warm up my teapot before making an infusion. So we're going to take this wonderful weave teapot, which is available on our online shop, and we're just going to warm this pot up. So in our tea goes. Let's just add our boiling water. So let's have a quick taste. It's been about a minute and let's see what this is all about. Really rich, earthy, feels a bit sort of full-bodied, but to be honest it's not full-bodied enough. That this tea needs to be a more red, ruddy colour. Oh, that's really gorgeous. You know, we were talking about the lotus leaf adding sort of a hay note. Well, that's really coming through here. So it's more sort of light and delicate rather than full-bodied and rich. And that's really what we want to get out of our Pu-erh tea. So let's continue. We've been going for another minute. Just a slightly different colour. Ah, okay. So yes, it's definitely becoming far more rich and full-bodied. It's almost got like a smoky taste. If you're a lover of Lapsang Souchong, it is sort of like that. Not so intense. What we're going to do is just let that go for another 3 or 4 minutes and get right to the end of the brew cycle. Because typically what you would do with a Pu-erh tea like this is that you would brew it for a good 5 minutes to get that richness and ruddiness out of it. 5 minutes have now elapsed. Let's see what this lovely tea is going to taste like. So now we're seeing that the tea has got a much deeper reddy colour. It's a really complex tea. It's got a real delicateness that sort of flows over the tongue, sort of gets you first, and then all the full-bodiedness sort of backs that up. So you are getting sort of that date type taste. You're also getting that savouriness, but you're also getting, as I've said before, that sort of full-bodied taste profile. It's great. It's really, really great. I really recommend it. Thank you for joining us today for this tea taster. One thing I'd just like to remind you club members is that if you shop online with us directly, you do get a VIP 10% discount on the shop. So do come and visit us very, very soon. So another fabulous tea that you can find in any supermarket near you is Twinings Everyday Tea. This also has a Yunnan tea within the blend, producing a really smooth, round, rich, bold flavour. Until next time, happy tea times!